to suffer a little bit more.
What do you expect the mindset of Barcelona to be with this game? Just get the win or win big? Like Real Madrid did on Sunday.
Probably not that big, but really comfortable. I can see probably a big difference around 3-4 goals.
Shock horror, Lionel Messi hasn't scored for the last 2 matches. He failed to score 3 in a row for just the 2nd time this season. A hat-trick takes him to 400 goals in all competitions, Guillaume, but is there still a worry about this injury that he's had? And was there any way that Luis Enrique was thinking maybe I shouldn't play him tonight?
I bet he thought about it, because he thinks if he gets injured today, maybe he's missing against Sevilla. And of course it's Sevilla, PSG, Valencia, PSG, Espanyol, of course, next for Barcelona. But he will always play if he's available, and he's available, but he's not comfortable. He's gone back to the old boots that are a little bit bigger than the ones that he's having at the moment, because he's still in pain.
Luis Enrique does make changes, though, from the win against Celta Vigo. 6, in fact. Bartra, Mascherano, Rakitic, Sergio Roberto, Xavi and Pedro all come in. As for Almeria, 5 changes for the new coach, Sergi. Marin, Casado, Thomas, Espinosa and Edgar Mendes. Marin is 18 years old. He's a Spanish under-19 international. He's making his debut tonight. What a debut that is. Just on Lionel Messi, we're seeing him, he's starting pilot. If you were a teammate and you knew he couldn't get his right boot on properly, some big games to come, the treble's still on, would you say anything to him to say, look, we don't need you right now, just rest?
Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to say. The key is stay on the bench in case, because on the pitch the game is going to look easy, but you never know what can happen. Really big games, Champions League. It's better to take rest and wait for the next one.
The thing is, though, he could get an injury in training. So you tell him not to train as well. You keep him in a box until the next game, and that's the thing. With him, you need to play, because the risk of not playing him. Remember what happened against Real Sociedad?
Yes, with him, he wants to play, so if he wants to play, he plays, simple as that. But a baptism of fire for that man there, isn't that a Barcelona legend? Yeah,
Barcelona legend. He was on the other side of Xavi Ferrer in the dream team, fullback, both historical fullback for Barcelona and for Spain, and experience only in the 2nd division, so his first game in the 1st division.
OK, Barcelona play first and have the chance to go 7 points ahead of Real Madrid. Surely they must take it. The commentary team, Jerry Armstrong and Rob Palmer.
Well, it may be a slightly experimental Barcelona starting 11 tonight, but they're up against Almeria, who are 2nd from bottom of the table. They visited the Nou Camp on 7 previous occasions, Almeria, and they've lost all 7 games. They've only ever managed to score 2 goals at this magnificent auditorium. And when we look at their starting 11 tonight, they are severely weakened. They've lost Michel Macedo and Fran Velez, and as Scott was saying, they start Antonio Marin, who's only 19 years of age, no La Liga experience, and just 196 minutes of first-team action in the Copa del Rey. Tonight he's got to keep Messi and Suarez and the World Cup winner Pedro quiet.
And you say that all before I say they've won 5 times away from home this season, Rob, but they've only won 6 times. That's the problem with Almeria. That's why they're down in the bottom 3 of the table. It's a massive game for them, but I don't see any joy in this match. You have to fancy Barcelona.
Well, Barcelona have made 6 changes from the narrow win in Vigo against Celta at the weekend. When you look at their starting 11, they are hardly weakened, just freshened. A couple of key players unavailable to Luis Enrique tonight. Busquets is suspended. Jordi Alba is undergoing treatment for a thigh injury. An opportunity to look at the likes of Pedro, who hasn't had as much playing time as he normally would. Adriano, who is starting just his 6th La Liga game of the season. Last year he played 24 times in the Spanish top flight, and only a 3rd start of the season for Sergi Roberto, who has been linked with a number of English Premier League clubs. Fine athletic midfield player who does need some game time.
I think that's the key for me. He really does need to play, and I've said it before, Rob. He needs the experience And every time I've seen him play for Barcelona, he's done well, particularly when he's been leading the midfield in the Copa del Rey. He played really well. I think it was against Elche, and surprised me. Good engine, good pass to the ball, but needs to play more often.
Well, Barcelona kick off the game 4 points above Real Madrid. We're in action tonight. It's not an easy game. They play Rayo Vallecano in our second part of the double bill. Luis Enrique saying that he's selected a side which will guarantee 3 points. Says they value their privileged position and they want to make the most of it. Suarez goes into the path of Pedro. It's the first raindrops of a storm.
Well, you're going to see a lot of possession from the home side. Always 70% plus. And look at this, everybody behind the ball here for Almeria. Don't want to concede an early goal.
Suarez to Messi, to Suarez. Missing Neymar tonight. Pedro's taken his place. Almeria have been pinched inside their own half. They didn't make it easy for Barcelona when they met earlier in the season, though. Ball is played through towards Suarez and going to ground is Julian Quest, the goalkeeper. When they met earlier in the season, it was a 2-1 success for Barcelona. Almeria were leading in that game. Alves puts in the cross. All of that did look suspiciously like handball.
Yeah, did it take a slight deflection, deviation, which made it difficult for the defender. Let's have a look, see. Chest, arm. I think it hit everything.
He's in bumps today.
It was. It hit everything. He looked startled when it hit him.
Here's Xavi. Of course, spent the international break over in Qatar. I believe negotiating his autumn years. Is due to meet with the hierarchy of Barcelona this week to negotiate his release. I believe he's still contracted till 2016. Messi puts it towards Adriano. Now Pedro enters the area with ease. The cross and a comfortable clearance from Casado.
Super play from Pedro, Rob. Change of gear there, just dropped the shoulder outside the full-back. Cuts it across the 6-yard box and no one to tap it in. Normally Suarez is the one that's lurking around there, but they're picking up momentum. Barcelona ahead of what's going to be the first goal, I think.
Gypsy Jerry has looked into his crystal ball. Towards Rakitic. Just won't give up possession, will they? Here is Lionel Messi.
Great defender.
Rakitic. Sergio Roberto. Adriano. Suarez flips it in. Easy header for Casado.
Fullback's done well. Casado twice now, Rob. Oh, given away cheaply.
Fernandez gives it away. Rakitic with a tempting cross. And Trujillo seats another corner.
That's what happens when you get strikers in the wrong area. Well, he didn't get the ball, but I think he got enough of it. You see Pedro's lost possession there, and the sliding challenge comes in from it's Chimo Navarro who makes the challenge.
Luis Suarez knows that by his world-class standards, it was a goal-scoring opportunity.
He gets his head on it, he'll expect it to hit the target. It's a decent ball in, he gets himself a half a yard. He's frustrated, he always expects to score, he always expects to hit the target. But his goals balance is better now, Rob. You know, he's picked up a lot of goals, Suarez, in the last 6 or 7 weeks. He's been playing really well. He's working hard for the team and creating chances for Messi and Neymar, but he's on 14 goals himself now, which is very good. So it's too far from him.
Luis Suarez was assisted in 10 goals as well. Luis Suarez is well as scoring the 14 goals. Beginning to pay back that massive transfer fee from Liverpool.
It's a good return at the moment. He's doing well. It's not the best kick out from the goalkeeper, Cuesta.
It's Corona. Gary Mendes. Looking for Thierry. Almeria into the game in pretty desperate form. They've lost 3 of the last 4 games, including the last 2. They are sinking fast into the 2nd division in Spain. Dani Alves. Thierry.
Closed down by Sergio Roberto. He's the anchor man in midfield tonight. That's the run, and he doesn't quite get it. And there you can see Chimo. He got a little bit of a touch on the ball. Pedro doesn't get anywhere near the ball either. The referee's in a good position. No penalty.
Pedro, I saw today linked in the English newspapers with a move to Liverpool. I'm sure that was speculation, but until I think he came to the English Premier League, you wouldn't realise just what a class player he is. Maybe a little bit like Ozil and Sanchez, who were second kind of tier players at their major clubs. Pedro is truly class.
How do you keep players like that happy, though? You know, when you look at the forward line and Suarez and Messi and Neymar in the front 3, and they're always going to be first choice, it makes it difficult for Pedro, but he's still got 10 goals this season.
There you go, Suarez. He's offside. Pedro is trying to feed him. Pedro's CV, fantastic, isn't he? World Cup winner, won the Euros in 2012. Started the final of the World Cup. Over 50 caps for Spain. This is only his 13th start this season, though, in La Liga. But anyway, Jerry, after Barcelona, it's going to be a step down, isn't it?
That is true, but if he wants to have a more fulfilled career and play more games, that's what he's going to have to do. He's got to make a big decision.
There's Lionel Messi. Maybe his fulfillment is waking up in the morning, seeing the beautiful sunshine, and then getting to training and realising he's on the five-a-side team with Lionel Messi.
Yeah, that's the other side of it, absolutely.
It's pretty good job satisfaction to me. There is Pedro. Xavi.
I just wonder, is he fulfilling his potential, though? That's the thing. In those years, you can't get back. Sometimes you have to bite the bullet and make a decision.
He seems contented. Barcelona will not want to be letting anybody go unnecessarily. There's, of course, the inevitable that Xavi will move on, but that will be a noble move after around a decade and a half of service to Barcelona. With the transfer embargo on them, can't bring players in, so I doubt many will be going out. Here's Messi. It's almost like a game, isn't it, for Almeria to run the ball to the halfway line. That's an achievement for them.
If they get there, Rob, they haven't got there too often, to be fair. And Messi on the ball again.
There's Messi looking for Adriano on the far side, but they've checked his run.
See, he was looking for the angle in between the goalkeeper and the last defender, the full-back. He saw the run from Adriano. He's trying to pick him out. Too much pace on the ball. Still doesn't look comfortable to me, does he? He's had a couple of runs and not really been running freely. Still that injury, and it's a delicate one, it's a dangerous one. If he gets an injury in this match and he misses out against Paris Saint-Germain, he could suffer the consequences and maybe not go through to the next stages.
Of course, the last time that we didn't select Messi from the start against Real Sociedad, they lost. A bit of fallout from that.
Yeah, but he was fit for that one, Rob. I don't think he's fully fit here. This is the difference.
I think Luis Enrique would argue that maybe he was physically fit, but he was rather jet-lagged after a long journey back.
That's a good point.
Xavi, Adriano's cross. Here's Rakitic. Tries to make space, and they've been a little bit kind, Barcelona, to Almeria. Which comes across.
Good challenge. Good challenge. Plays it off the defender, Edgar Mendes, and wins the throw-in. Jordi Alba, Sergio Busquets, relaxing in the stand.
very warm day has turned into a cool spring night in Catalonia. As he makes his move, this is Alves. Alves teases the ball in, takes the deflection. Cuesta comes a long way. Suarez. Alves. Great ball, and a weak header from Lionel Messi.
Well, he's headed it pretty well, Rob, but he's too far out. He's just inside the penalty area here. This has got to be about 14, 15 yards, and Dani Alves finds him, but he wasn't going to score from that range, I think. Scores a lot of goals, more than people give him credit for, the little man. And he's due a goal.
Yeah, he's
good run.
Suarez.
Tell you what, he timed that run right to perfection. The flag didn't go up. He waited till the ball was struck. He was playing off the shoulder of the last defender and got on the end of it. Suarez, he's done really well there.
Barcelona. Edgar Mendes. Now Casado.
Good ball.
The battle from Espinosa and coming off his line and breaking his boredom and getting his first touch with 13.5 minutes gone is Claudio Bravo.
Well, Bravo from Bravo. He came out, he was a little bit slow to come out, but he made it his. It was a 50-50. Very positive from the goalkeeper. Excellent play here. And look at the run from Edgar Mendez. Is he offside? He's leaning offside, possibly. He scores, that would have been controversial, wouldn't it?
To Corona. Coming out of their shell a little bit now. Almeria. Casado fires it in. Barcelona getting back a little bit lazily here. Wellington, the young man on loan from Arsenal. To Thierry. Remember, had a short spell at West Bromwich Albion. He tiptoes through the area. Now Wellington. Oh! Almost had a shot on the cards then.
Rob, great play from them, I have to say. The build-up's excellent, and Wellington so close here. Excellent play, cut back. Wellington's first touch in, angles tight, took a deflection just here off Pedro. Pedro's done well. I think that's going in the back of the net.
Well, Wellington Silver was quite a young talent. Still spent €4 million to sign him from Fluminense almost 5 years ago now. May not be too familiar to Arsenal because this is his 5th loan from North London. It's another tempting little cross.
Well, they've shown on 2 occasions now that they can cause when they get forward. Thomas's cross at the end wasn't great. Now let's have a look. This is the run from Suarez. Rob, he is unbelievable. He's timed it to perfection. The ball holds up a little bit. Defender gets back in and manages to make the block. And it's good defending in the end from Chimo.
Messi. Barcelona are having problems working their way through what has been a very tight and packed defence so far.
Yeah, 2 backs of 4. Well, and the 2 strikers are both back in their own defensive third. But they're keeping it narrow. They're 5 yards in front of the back 4. And Messi, well, he runs into the full-back, and Dani Alves does the same.
Bartra to Rakitic. Well, back by Bravo. Football from back by Barcelona. Alves. Rakitic. Roberto. Now Pedro. Xavi. Lionel Messi. Ball to Rakitic. Oh, it's a shame. That was a move that started at the feet of the goalkeeper about 25 passes ago. Pure football.
It's good play.
It is. It's Thierry taking on the whole Barcelona defence. Espinosa. A wasted run. Mascherano, man for, well, you say all positions, but 2 positions at the moment. He's tending to alternate between the holding midfield slot and centre defence. Interesting without Busquets in the side tonight, that Sergio Roberto plays that anchor role. It's Messi, he left the ball behind. Espinosa. I think the keeper was too willing to take it off in there.
No, he didn't want it. Dangerous ball, and Neymar has to sit and wait at the back.
Wasn't the back first time. Well, volley comes shot, speculative stuff from Pedro, but hoping somebody would get the telling touch in the centre.
It's a great ball initially from Messi, but look at his body shape here on the left foot, volley. That's what you want to do. If you're going to miss it at the far post. He cuts across the ball, not enough to hit the target, but a decent effort from Pedro, and Sergi, he's telling his lads to calm down. The front 3 are quick, Rob. You know, Xavi and Wellington and Edgar Mendes, they're quick. They got one-on-one situations. They could have caused a few problems.
Well, it's Sergi's debut as the coach of Almeria. He's the 4th man to take charge of the team this season. Post Jim Ignacio.
What a first game to take a charge of, though. Away to Barcelona, my goodness.
Well, if anybody knows the club, it is Sergi.
Absolutely.
He's here as part of the dream team. 93 to 2002. 3 league winners' medals. Got the Copa del Rey's. Was part of Bobby Robson's European Cup Winners' Cup team as well. 9 majors in total as a player.
Super little fullback, wasn't he?
He was reliable. Messi. Mascherano.
Almost a good ball from Mascherano. Dani Alves' first touch. He was stretching for it, but it was a poor one.
Xavi has entertained us and educated us in football over the last decade or so. These are his final few games in the colours of Barcelona. These have been privileged years to see one of the great midfield players of all time. His 753rd appearance tonight.
Wow. He could pass long, short. I think there was a better passer in the last 10, 11 years in Spanish football, and Xavi Hernandez.
Sergi, of course, was in the Barcelona team with him in the early days. He was a teammate. His opposite number tonight, Luis Enrique, they had 6 years together for Barcelona and a couple of World Cups as well.
That's right, was it 98?
94 and 98.
94 and 98, yeah. There must have been a European Championship sandwiched in there as well, 96.
Euro 96. Adriano. Step over, loses the defender. Just over the head of Rakitic, and safe and sensible from Casado.
Couldn't take a chance, Rob. Well, taken quickly.
Shouting, everybody back for Almeria. Little Messi on the ball. 3 come to close him down. Sergio Roberto to Adriano. Unnecessary foul from Adriano.
Yeah, on TV's just turned the wrong way, and Adriano was caught. He bundles into the striker, gives away the free kick. Another one with such a utility player, Adriano. You'd think he'd play a lot more games than he has, Rob. I know he's had a few injuries as well, but I'd expected him to play at least 15-20 games in the season.
It's Dievi. Spinoza, who was a Barcelona B player until the summer. And that's right. It's been very pretty. Usual possession from Barcelona. But what's missing tonight, Jerry, is that ruthless streak. We saw it from Real Madrid at the weekend when they got 9 past Granada.
It took them a little while to break them down first. Here's a chance now.
Spare man at the far post, just evading Pedro.
The thing is, when he comes back on his right foot, inside on the left, Rob, the ball's always going to swing away from the attacking player, and you can see the momentum. It just zips off the surface there. Too far for Pedro to get on the end of.
Enrique is very keen that his players lay down the marker for Real Madrid, who are involved in our second game this evening.
Well, if they go 7 points clear, that would put an awful lot of pressure on Real Madrid. Excellent play. Here's Mascherano.
Sergio Roberto. Alves. Messi in this preferred position of starting from the right tonight. Suarez, brilliant feet from Suarez. But across the goal, and no willing takers.
He did the right thing, Rob. I think he felt he had to square it. He's done so well. The run from Suarez is brilliant. The pass and the weight of the pass from Messi is superb. Cuts inside the defender, and then he tees it up for someone to come and tap it in. I think Pedro had hung out a little bit longer. That was Sergio Roberto who got on the end of that one. Couldn't direct it on target.
It's all been friendly fire so far from Barcelona.
Yeah, but see, the runs of Suarez is excellent, Rob. There, Trujillo is who he gets past here. Trujillo, the centre half. It's good defending as well in the end, I have to say, from
young Marin.
Antonio Marin, who's playing more as a right-sided defender, right back rather than a centre half, Rob.
Sergio Roberto to Xavi. Pedro. Suarez central. Oh dear. It's not so often you say about Barcelona, if they can make the wrong pass, they do make the wrong pass, but that's been recurring.
Yeah. Well, the other thing for Barcelona, and he's on the bench tonight, Neymar, he hasn't scored for quite a while. And that puts him under pressure and the team under pressure.
Spinoza.
Sergio will be happy, though, I'll have to say, as will the Almeria players.
Thomas Partey to Spinoza.
Great first touch, that wasn't it?
Maybe Sergio's going to have to lower his expectations a little bit here. He's a player at Barcelona, then he went into the coaching system behind the scenes of the club as well. It's part of the youth policy for a couple of years.
I find it difficult to break them down, Rob. To see the 2 banks of 4.
It's Messi. Obstacles in the way. Continues. Nice ball to Adriano. Now Messi on the blind side. Wasn't a bad tackle at all from Wellington Silva.
There's no appeal from Messi either. The referee was in a great position. And you can see here Wellington Silva gets across, wins the ball. No arguments, let's see.
Looks a player when we see him, Wellington Silva, the young Brazilian, but he's yet to score this season for Almeria.
He's got a lot of pace, he's got good technique. And he's just won a free kick. There's a nudge in the back from Adriano. He's given a couple of silly free kicks away and a little bit of petulance as well. See, he hasn't played that many games.
quickly. Thierry. Partey. Wellington wide. Marine. Bartra takes control. Referee spotted a small shove in there.
Wasn't too sure there was anything wrong. The challenge that came in there was maybe late from Espinosa. That's the only thing I could see.
Messi. Only one foul from Almeria, who have the reputation as being the hard men of Spanish football. They have the worst card count this season. 99 yellows and 9 red cards.
It was a few years ago, I think they bettered that, Rob. Was it 11 or 12 they had in one season?
I think it was 14, if my memory's certainly right. Half of the games they had a player sent off it.
Yeah, they had a very poor reputation, I know that.
Dani Alves. They've actually not finished the last 3 games with a full complement of players. Almeria. Xavi to Messi. Strong tackle from Sergio Roberto. As I said before, Barcelona trying to lay down a marker because their nearest rivals, Real Madrid, are in action following this game. And uptown, isn't it, against Rayo Vallecano here on Sky Sports 5 tomorrow night. It's Athletic Bilbao against Valencia. 7 o'clock kickoff in that one. The weekend, Malaga at home against Atletico Madrid. Our early offering. Barca go to Sevilla. That's a tough game. And then on Sunday, David Moyes' Real Sociedad at home against Deportivo La Coruña, followed by Cordoba against Elche. We take a short intake of breath before we review it all on Revista on Monday at 6. Here's Pedro. Adriano to Xavi. Whoever's playing that damage drum is doing an excellent job in keeping the rhythm going. For the spectators so far, it's hardly been riveting. It's been repetitive. Yet another corner. Barcelona, almost half an hour gone. In desperate need of a breakthrough. Dani Alves. Roberto. Adriano goes wide to Pedro. String of Barcelona players in there. It's towards Lionel Messi. He's not bad at heading the ball, but he very rarely leaps above a player. Alves with a cross. Arms go up. Flag stays down. Comes to Xavi.
Oh, he's unlucky. He's had it sweet, Rob, hasn't it? It's been teed up from nicely. He's hit it too nicely. Keeper's positioning was excellent, Cuesta. 30 minutes gone. I think if you asked Sergi would he settle for 0-0 at 30 minutes, he'd have said yes, no problem.
He settled for 0-0 after 2 minutes. It's a certain fear factor on Adriano's cross. Asado. It's a dangerous game to play your way out of defence. Xavi Navarro. There's Rakitic. Barcelona build again. It's a game of patience being played by the Catalans. Xavi. Messi. Rakitic. Suarez. Rakitic. There's a pass which confirmed it was onside, but for a great player like Xavi, we have to say that was a rather weak shot.
He's hit it too well, hasn't he? He's hit it straight at the keeper. Sometimes you need to miss hit them now. Thierry.
Thierry's looked lively. Bartra contains him. Now Rakitic. Just wonder sometimes, Jerry, whether Luis Enrique may consider allowing Almeria a little slice of possession here, let them come on to Barcelona and then counter-attack at the breakneck speed, which we know they're capable of.
I think it suits them better if there's less people behind the ball when they've got 10 players behind the ball, as we have here, and they've double cover. You see, look, 2 banks of 4, Rob. It's difficult to break down. They'll let them have the ball in the wide position and say, well, go and cross, because we've got better players in the air than you. There's Messi.
Messi drops the shoulder, past one. Goes for the corner.
What a goal.
He's broken the deadlock in classic Messi style. Nobody else was capable of scoring until little Messi stepped up to the plate.
Do you know, he has double cover there as he's got the ball, and he goes past the first player too easy for me. But then when he's got one-on-one with the full-back, he just shapes it slightly, moves it half a yard to the left, and you know he's going to hit it and bend it a foot outside the far post and curl it inside the post. It's brilliant play. Now this is the first piece of defending. The two defenders don't help each other, because I think the other player is too far away from him for me, and he just skips past. I think it's Edgar. Far too easy. Passes Edgar, and then he skips inside on his left foot past Casado, the left back. But it's a fantastic finish. That's what he's quality about, Rob. He's just top drawer.
Well, he's now on 32 goals this season. Of course, he fell behind Cristiano Ronaldo, who scored the 5 at the weekend in the Pichichi, the Golden Boot in Spain.
Is that the floodgates going to open now?
Maybe so. Is that the sound of rushing water from the floodgates? Xavi. Sergio Roberto. Alves. Roberto. Xavi. Here's Messi. 33 goals he scored in La Liga.
Yeah, he's
44 in all competitions.
3 behind Ronaldo now.
Here is Messi. Good feet. Takes 3 or 4 tackles to stop it from different people. And then Suarez throws his weight around on Wellington Silva.
Well, Messi tries to find space. It's a good tackle from Thomas initially, but he's blocked. His attempt at clearance is blocked by Suarez. And he follows him after that. This is the angle. Look at the angle, Rob. Always shaping to curl it outside, but that's the problem I've got. Going past Edgar too easy. But that's world class. That's a world class finish. You can't stop that, and Sergi knows that.
He wanted to play. Luis Enrique was never going to argue with Lionel Messi. And Messi, at 10 minutes to half-time, is the difference between the two sides. A moment of brilliance.
Well, that's what you needed to break the deadlock. A determined and stubborn defence.
Rakitic.
I think it was 2 players colliding with each other. Dani Alves was on the receiving end. Sergio Roberto and he clashed. Yeah, he gets caught by Sergio Roberto.
It was Bartra. Was it not Bartra there? It was Bartra that caught him, wasn't it?
Bartra, sorry, yeah. It was his own teammate. It was accidental, obviously, but both of them had their eyes on the ball.
Dani Alves. And now Lionel Messi. Messi goes on the outside. Quite so lethal with his right foot.
There's a wry smile there. He tries to whip at him with his right foot. One of his better efforts.
On a bad bench, Iniesta, Piqué, Neymar. Matthew scored 2 vital goals in 2 matches.
2 and 2, 2 big goals, Rob, I'd say, yeah.
He's not embarrassed by his riches, Luis Enrique.
Yeah, he's got the key players fit at the moment. There's only Vermaelen and he's back to training this week. He's been missing most of the season. Jordi Alba's got a little bit of a knock. Other than that, they're fine.
Marin skies the ball. Espinosa, a little more commitment. He could have had his name up in lights.
He got into the box, and you're right, Rob, he didn't really show the determination that he wanted it, and he was going to hit the target hard with it. I think the ball hit him rather than him attack the ball. Good turn from Suarez.
Suarez makes the space. Now to Messi. Pass Partey. Xavi tees it up for Adriano. Looking for Messi. Partey had followed him every step of the way. Thierry.
He's a little bit unlucky there, Thierry. Surrounded by Barcelona players, eventually gives it away. Needed a bit of support.
Rakitic strokes the ball brilliantly into the path of Dani Alves. Been so many times this season that Dani Alves has got into that position, and it's a weakness of his in Barcelona's. The cross from the right-hand side, wasteful.
Yeah, he knows he should do better than that. Well, they've got the breakthrough, they got the first goal. Have to build on that. Dominated possession, Rob, had at least 70%. But then on the counter-attack on 2 or 3 occasions, Almeria have looked slightly dangerous.
Rakitic. Games for Barcelona are coming up thick and fast, of course. They come for Del Rey final. Paris Saint-Germain coming up in the Champions League. Wise clearance there from Trujillo. Here's Rakitic. Xavi. Now Luis Suarez. He was guilty of thinking.
Well, he knew what he wanted to do, he just didn't quite implement it. He was looking to put it past the defender and go on the end of it and get a strike in.
As you're saying, have managed to win 5 times on the road this season, which is as many as they did the whole of last year. The problem is they've stopped scoring on their travels. Only 2 goals in the last 6 matches away from home.
Yeah, the problem is they've only scored 26 goals in total this season, but 16 of those goals have come away from home, Rob. It's their home form's let them. That's a great run.
It's a lovely ball and a great take as well from Pedro. Marin followed him every step.
He's a little bit unlucky, Pedro. Initially, the timing of the run was excellent. The first touch here. It's actually his first touch was good. It was his second touch was left behind him, and that allowed the young centre-back Antonio Marin to get back in.
It was a similar pass, wasn't it, the movement that created the goal for Luis Suarez in the Clasico, if you remember. Suarez took it a little better than that and swept it in.
Well, the timing of the run from Suarez is excellent. I think his runs are so well timed, off the shoulder of the last defender. Now here's a chance for Edgar Mendez.
Mendes shows willing. He is the leading scorer in the starting 11 tonight. He's managed 5 goals this season in all comps.
Yeah, it's not bad. Well, but Tomer Hemed's got 8. He's on the bench.
interesting in the statistics. Possession 65% Barcelona. Maybe the only surprising statistic is the lack of chances they're creating. Mascherano bounces off Thierry.
He's going to get booked for it.
Don't think there's ever anything to happen. It's going to be a yellow card. One or two of the leading lawyers of Almeria trying to go for a stronger sentence.
Well, he's strong, he's solid. It's Thierry. But he's ran into Mascherano. He did enough just to put him off balance and stop and continue his run. He had the momentum with him. That was the argument. He only had one defender to beat then, so at the back there, Bartra. Zongo warming up, Rob.
There was an attacking play. There'll just be a precaution with Thierry holding his neck. Bravo wants that wall to be built correctly. He has two protecting him. The obstruction to Corona.
It looks just a little bit too far out for me. But Corona fancies it.
Corona thinks it was Thierry on the far side. Barcelona defend it well. Now the committed players forward here. Almeria. It's a rare surge from them. Partey. Is that a corner?
It's a corner
Yes,
kick.
it is.
Decent play. Don't know if they meant half of the passes, but it fell kindly for Almeria players, and as Barcelona were pushing up and sprinting out, almost caught them out.
If Almeria are going to steal a goal in the Camp Nou, it may well have to come from a set piece. Not much doubt the referee is going to have much to the first half, a few injuries. So they've chanced half a dozen players in and around the area, and one inside the goal net as well. Of course, a distraction for Bravo. And there's a weak header from Trujillo. You can see they put a lot of work into that routine.
Best defensive record in La Liga, 17 goals against Barcelona, Rob.
Well, Barcelona have kept the clean sheet. Bravo with one difficult moment, but it's the opposite number, Julian Cuesta, who has been relatively quiet. Suarez and Pedro and Lionel Messi haven't mustered much between them. Just one moment of magic from Lionel Messi. The only goal of the first half. It's 1-0.
Yes, not the scoreline, nor perhaps the performance we're expecting from Barcelona against relegation-threatened Almeria, but the one bit of true